So we've seen what Joes are like, so how about a little bit of classic Cobras? This fans and fanettes is a Cobra Commander from the 25th anniversary line. This is the original first version that was single carded and all that, blah blah blah. He's actually pretty cool, and this is of course the helmet version of him, which is pretty much as iconic as the hooded version, and personally I like it better than the hooded version. He just looks so sinister and scary and almost not even human with his big silver face. Being very cartoon accurate and very old action figure version of him accurate, he looks very nice in this sort of light blue. That's not very scary or menacing, but it still is light blue and red. And you just gotta love the Cobra colors. He's very good and very detailed, down to the little buttons on his jacket there, and onto the little side pouches on his side, which who knows really what he puts in there. It looks very good and very well done. And while this figure was released as in a later wave than the past two figures I've done, he still is probably one of the most iconic yet. With a grand total of 2 accessories, one being his helmet and the other his gun, he's not exactly armed to the teeth, but then again he doesn't need to be, because he is the commander. Now one thing I will say about this guy that's kind of bad is that his helmet, while it looks very good and everything, does come off, which in the cartoon you know it does, or in the comics, one of the two, and in the back you can even see where it plugs in and all that. It's really cool, really nice and detailed. But setting it back on and then hoping it stays on sometimes can be tricky business, which is kind of why I wish it was just sort of molded onto his head as well. But then again, it does look nicely sculpted and individually done, so I don't know, it could go either way. But that is pretty much the only gripe I have against this figure. That and the fact that his elbows always seem to be really stiff. Speaking of stiff, this guy certainly knows how to pose, because look at this fist that he's got clenched in defiant anger. He's very well. I love how they had one of his hands with a clenched fist, seeing as how he wouldn't even need an open hand except for to hold his other gun, which he can do very well. But if you want to store the gun away for a while, it fits very nicely into his back. Overall, I'm going to give this guy 3 stars as being pretty nice. Not 4 stars because, well, he is pretty cool and iconic and everything, but I just don't think he's one of the very best G.I. Joe figures of the 25th anniversary line, seeing as how there was many, many more to choose from. So he's very nice and a very good figure, and I definitely recommend him. So that's Cobra Commander. Hey, here's a question for you. If you like it, do you like the helmet version or the hooded version? Put it in the comments below and let me know. And until next time, this is that G.I. Joe guy with Cobra Commander signing out. Yo, Joe.